Hello and welcome to I've Seen Everything, where the name is ironic and the reactions are... Hello everyone, my name's Andrew and welcome to yet another movie reaction out here on the ISE channel. We are here to finish a series today, finish a franchise, finish a trilogy. It seems we just started because we did, kind of. Let me explain. Long ago, over a year ago, close to the beginning of this channel, I did a movie reaction. A movie reaction to a movie I've seen, I love, I've grown up with, Back to the Future. And then what? I didn't do any of the other Back to the Future movies until now. And that has stayed that way all this time, and I can no longer let that stand. So I have already, as of recording this, done the reaction to Back to the Future Part 2, and that brings us here today to the final movie of the trilogy, Back to the Future Part 3. I will say, as I did in the intro to Back to the Future Part 2, I'm a little surprised when it comes to these movies. I grew up watching all the Back to the Future movies. They were hugely popular. It was an event. People waited for these movies to come out into the theater once they knew that sequels were coming. It was only in more recent years I found out there are people who don't like these movies. The first Back to the Future is pretty much universally loved, but Back to the Future 2 and Back to the Future 3 apparently have their haters. I am quite definitely not one of them. Both of the other Back to the Future movies have involved going back to 1955, dealing with Marty's parents. In the second movie, we're overlapping what happens in the first movie to some degree to try to fix the alternate timeline. In this movie, they finally decided, hey, we're going somewhere completely different, but not really. Meaning we are still in Hill Valley, California. This isn't Doctor Who. They can't travel in time and space. But we are back in 1885. Although there are still things we recognize. The McFly family is already in Hill Valley. The Tannen family is already in Hill Valley. Or at least Buford Mad Dog Tannen is in Hill Valley. Being in the Old West comes with it its own set of challenges. Hijinks ensue as per usual. And we bring this series to what I feel has always been a satisfying conclusion. So let's quit talking about it. You love, or maybe at least like this movie. I love this movie. Let's go ahead and watch this movie. But before we do, I want to be sure to invite you to check out the Patreon. The full-length reaction to this movie is available over on the Patreon right now, along with the other two Back to the Future movies. There's all kinds of other full-length movie reactions over there, exclusive television show reactions, all kinds of stuff. I hope you go check it out and consider becoming a patron. Any support that you offer over there or over here is always greatly appreciated. And speaking of over here, if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And that's it, folks. That's all I have for you in the beginning here. Let's get to watching 1990's Back to the Future Part 3. Here we go. Thinking about it now, I'm also kind of shocked that nobody ran. Like, that was really loud and, like, you know, destructive, and nobody ran out. Also, the storm just immediately stopped.
Sent you back to the future.
Oh, I know you did send me back to the future, but I'm back. I'm back from the future.
Great Scott.
At this point, Doc has to think he's just out of his mind. He has to think that Marty is just a paranoid delusion that he can't get rid of. Because he just sent him back to the future, and all this immediately he's back there again. Also, I don't remember. I get the feeling maybe they said in the first one, but do we ever find out why Doc... I mean, it looked like Doc had some money. Is it that he threw all of his family fortune into his inventions all these years and none of them panned out to the point that he lost everything? I think that's what I remember.
The travel experiment was apparently a complete success. Lightning struck the clock tower precisely 10:04 p.m.
He's also so single-minded that he didn't notice another person laying on the chair across from him.
After that, I can't recall what happened. In fact, I don't even remember how I got home. Perhaps the gigawatt discharge.
Still not noticing. I mean, that's the comedy of the moment, you know? Come on, Doc, wake up. He's right behind you.
I saw a vision of Marty say he had come back from the future. Image.
Even the voice didn't snap him out of it. He had to actually see him, like, right in front of his face.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me. It's
The ominous organ music to go with it. That's funny.
Do you believe that you are here?
Doc, I am here, and it does make sense.
This is funny. This kind of direct comparison to the first movie.
If the me of the future is now in the past, how could you possibly know about it?
You sent me a letter.
They were both so good in these movies. They had such great chemistry, comedic timing off of each other, and they were just the emotion to go with it, too. It was wonderful, the two of them together.
Activated the flux capacitor and sent me back to 1885.
Marty's wearing the thought-reading helmet. That's funny.
It actually flew.
Yeah, we had a hover conversion done in the early 21st century.
Incredible.
Doc is one of the only people in the world that would just accept that and move on, you know? 1955 Doc.
1885. Amazing. I actually end up as a blacksmith in the Old West.
Again, a lot of other people would be like kind of deeply upset by this. Doc is just intrigued by the science of it, the adventure of it.
And please take care of Einstein for me. Einstein.
It's what you call your dog in 1985.
I always thought that was funny. This Doc knows who Einstein is, but Einstein isn't Einstein yet. He probably doesn't think he's, you know, that brilliant.
I will always treasure our relationship, think on you with fond memories, warm feelings, and a special place in my heart. Your friend in time. I never knew I could write anything so touching.
No, Doc, it's beautiful.
It's funny because it is truly beautiful and a wonderfully emotional moment, but also the humor there. It's a previous version of him reading something he hasn't written yet, and he's moved by it.
We may have to blast.
That's quite a blast. I think they went from may to definitely.
I think you woke up the dead with that blast.
That's some strange foreshadowing, especially given what they're going to find later.
I attempted to reach the center of the earth, to ride into Jules Verne. It had a profound effect on my life. And then I realized that I must devote my life to science.
This is the first time that we kind of get into a little bit more about Doc and his history as far as, like, you know, that he loves Jules Verne. In the game, for people who haven't played it, we see Doc in the 30s when he's a young man. And it was actually Mary Shelley's Frankenstein that he said inspired him to become a scientist.
Copernicus! Let's go. Doc!
Yeah, that's not just another tombstone. That's pretty significant.
You look like you've seen a ghost. Oh, great Scott.
Died September 7th. It's 1 week after you wrote the letter. Who the hell is Clara?
Marty, please don't stand there.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They would have left him in the past, and obviously he would have died eventually, but to have died only a week after the letter, it creates this thing. It's like, well, we can't leave Doc just to die right after he wrote the letter. That's no kind of life.
It is true. All of it. It is me who goes back there and gets shot.
It's not gonna happen, Doc. I'm going back to 1885 and I'm bringing you home.
I mean, you have to respect that. If Doc wanted to live out his life and he lived another, 10, 20 years, he said the thing that they did in 2015, added 30 or 40 years to his life. To die a week after that letter, how could you do that to your friend? Just leave him there to that,
This is all a completely open country.
How does he know it was open country in 1885?
If I drive straight towards the screen, I'm gonna crash into those Indians. Marty, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. They'll instantly be transported to 1885 and those Indians won't even be there.
55 Doc already has an easier time thinking fourth dimensionally than Marty does, apparently. And those Native Americans will be there, potentially. I don't know. I do know. You do too. Now, what were the odds of that at that exact moment? It is funny, though. Yeah, the DeLorean is not meant to drive over that kind of terrain. They had to do a different DeLorean where it was raised up higher, otherwise they would have destroyed it, it looks like. Yeah, trouble has not passed yet. Back in the cave, at least for a minute. Back in the cave. It'd be funny if every time he came back out, there was somebody else charging and just keep going back into the cave. That's unfortunate. What's even more unfortunate is he just pulled it out and just let the gas run out on the ground. But we need to have a movie.
Damn, I ripped the fuel line.
Unfortunate problem to have back in the 1880s. Out of the cave, out of the cave. Yeah, quickly, out of the cave. Yeah, to hell with the boots. Just run. Oh, might want to look where you're running. If not, stuff like this happens. Ooh. That looked painful.
Maggie! Fetch some water. We got a heart's on here.
It's an interesting look, Michael J. Fox. Although Irish, first generation immigrants to this country, I'm sure.
You're safe and sound here now at the McFly farm. McFly farm?
Have to do it every time, even though if he just opened his eyes,
You're my... Who are you?
That's got to be trippy. To not know who that is, but to recognize her face.
William Sean McFly, the first of our family to be born in America. sure he likes you, Mr. Eastwood.
See, that's interesting too. You go back and see some of the history of Marty's family too, when they first came to the United States.
I'll help you find your blacksmith friend. I'll even give you a hat.
She's not happy. She's scared of whatever he's involved in, of them getting involved in it too. But I didn't know for the longest time what that was that he was spitting out on the plate. I know now, though, obviously, it's buckshot from his shotgun.
Look how much Bobby takes to him. Little Will never takes to strangers. It's almost as if he's connected to us. Hey, Will.
It's interesting. Again, it's been a while since I've watched these movies. There's just things when you hit different parts of your life that hit differently, you know? Things that maybe you gloss over when you're watching these things when you're younger. Wow. I don't think that's the original set. I don't think they could have done that. I think they had to rebuild like the courthouse and things like that somewhere else out in the wilderness. Yeah, someone like him would draw a lot of attention. A stranger walking into town is enough probably, but a stranger walking into town looking like him. Always got to have the courthouse, clock tower. It's the anchor point to all these movies. And we also always have to have manure of some kind. I mean, that's not so much manure as just horse but you know.
Ice water?
Ice?
I don't think the water here is going to be any better than it was at Seamus's.
You ain't Seamus McFly. You kin to that hay barber?
Did you say he was a barber? Or did you say a hay barber? I don't know.
You're Mad Dog Tannen.
You know, Marty always manages to make a mistake right off the bat, you know?
Mad Dog. I hate that name. Nobody calls me Mad Dog. Especially not some duded up, egg-sucking gutter trash.
All right, so all of the Tannins were pathetic and had no self-respect at all. Just a bunch of insecure bullies. This one, unfortunately, has a gun. Marty bringing a little Michael Jackson to 1885. Who knew Marty could moonwalk? Yeah.
You better run, squirrel.
He would have just straight up killed you there. I mean, that's the thing. They're all murderers, too. Young Biff tried to run him down with his car. 85 Biff tried to kill him with a handgun, too. Griff tried to kill him with that bat. How are all the Tannins not in prison for murder, you know?
We got ourselves a new courthouse. About time we had a hanging.
Well, I think that's far more likely to be you than him, Mad Dog.
Well, shoot the fleas off a dog's back at 500 yards, Tannen, and it's pointed straight at your head.
Doc doesn't play. He's gotten used to being in the Old West pretty quick.
Only $5 for the whiskey and $75 for the horse. That's $80. You better be looking behind you when you walk, because one day you're going to get a bullet in your back.
So I just wondered, Doc came out just now to save Marty. If that hadn't happened, that altercation wouldn't have happened. That probably would have happened sometime, but...
I gave you explicit instructions not to come here, but it's good to see you, Marty.
See, their friendship is just very, very sweet. Very unlikely, but very sweet.
What idiot dressed you in that outfit? You did.
Surprising he doesn't have any memory of it.
And who's this beloved Clara?
Sometimes love hits quick.
Town meeting when you volunteered to meet the new school teacher quite open. She's coming in tomorrow. Her name's Clara Clayton.
Yep, and now you know who Clara is, and you know what's going to happen very fast, apparently. Although you're going to refuse to believe it.
Well, Doc, now we know who Clara is.
Marty, it's impossible.
The look on Marty's face. It's like, hey, Doc's going to fall in love. He's going to be completely blindsided by this meeting this woman.
You meet the right girl, it just hits you. It's like lightning.
Marty, please don't say that.
Yeah, it's a little bit of trauma with Doc as far as getting hit by lightning. Don't think that you can talk that way around him.
I guess, Miss Clayton, we'll have to find other transportation. I never meet the woman. There's no possibility of a romantic infatuation, right?
You're the Doc.
All right.
It seems like if he encountered anybody, interacted with anybody, he could create changes that would mess up the timeline. But
Tore a hole in the gas tank when I was landing, so we're gonna have to patch it up and get some gas.
Not gonna be a gas station around here until sometime in the next century. Can't get the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour.
see, Marty, you let all the gas spill out on the dirt. Now, what I say is you go dig up the dirt underneath where all the gas spilled into, and Doc tries to distill the gasoline out of it. But then we don't have a movie. We don't have scenes like this.
Bartender says that's the strongest stuff they got.
Try it, Marty.
I'm surprised he thought that alcohol of any type would work. Is there a precedent for that?
We know it won't run under its own power. We know we can't pull it. But if we could push it up to 88 miles an hour, huh?
Wow. They had to time that just perfect. They had to have production have the train come up behind him just as he said that. That's movie making for you folks.
You had a straight stretch of track with a level grade, and if you could get the fire hot enough, then yes, it might be possible to get her up that fast.
Tell me, when's the next train come through here?
Monday morning at 8 o'clock.
That is a terribly suspicious question to ask right after you asked about all the rest of that. That immediately says, oh, they're going to try to hijack a train and do this. But, I mean, I'm watching the movie and I know, so.
But according to this map, there is no bridge.
Marty, you're just not thinking fourth dimensionally.
Marty, it's perfect. You're just not thinking fourth dimensionally.
Right, I have a real problem with that.
Yeah, you do. The fourth dimension being time, Marty. Come on. You've been traveling through time. You know these things.
Great Scott!
All right. Mary Steenburgen has entered the chat, ladies and gentlemen. A.K.A. Claire Clayton. Ooh. Well, at least the horses didn't go over.
You saved my life,
Emmett Brown at your service, Miss
Clara Clayton.
Clara. What a beautiful name.
Yeah, that was amazing. Just instant. You know what I mean? Just instant chemistry. I know that's just good acting, but Doc scoffing at the idea of falling in love at first sight, and then just like, well, for lack of a better term, like lightning striking.
You've done more than enough already.
But it's really no trouble.
Doc, we gotta get going. Ma'am, good luck with your school teaching and everything.
She's kind of the perfect person to end up with him because she was supposed to die. She's not supposed to have a future. It would actually be more disruptive to the timeline if she remained. So her traveling through time with him almost makes more sense.
I'm almost glad that snake spooked those horses. Otherwise, we might never have met. Suppose it was destiny.
It is almost like it was destiny for the reason I just described. It really was. Incredible. You rarely come across things in time travel movies that make that much sense, but it really does.
Toodaloo.
Oh my God. Oh my God. He didn't tell me he didn't hit her with the toodaloo. There's no way to come back from a toodaloo, Doc.
Miss Clayton almost ended up at the bottom of Clayton Ravine.
Clayton Ravine was named after a teacher. They say she fell in there 100 years ago.
That she was supposed to go over in that wagon. Now I may have seriously altered history.
How did it take you that long to put that together? Well, I mean, the teachers are going to have to find a new movie. Not going to make a movie called Fallen in the Ravine. The worst that could happen is ripples. I mean, again, it's good that you save somebody, but her existence changes things.
3 miles out to Clayton Shonash Ravine.
Soon to be Eastwood Ravine.
Throw the switch track and then we'll borrow the locomotive.
I don't know if you can call it borrowing it, if you're going to flat out destroy the thing.
Up to 88 miles per hour. It couldn't be simpler.
I mean, it is a risk going toward a bridge that doesn't exist where you could, well, maybe there's not another option. It'd be better if it was a bridge that already existed, but, you know.
If you move it this way, the image turns fuzzy. But if you turn it the other way...
Everything becomes clear.
They're really laying it on thick. Just do any excuse they can to be close to each other and, you know, double meanings of things they say.
Well, I'll see you this evening at the festival, Emmett.
I didn't remember that it unfolded so quickly because they danced tonight.
It's too bad I didn't bring my camera.
Ready, gentlemen? The only problem is we'll never be able to show it to anybody.
Smile, Doc.
See? Already changing history. Showed it to somebody because it ended up in the library. Now Marty's going to be in the picture too. Hey, I saw this old photo in the library, and now I'm going to be in that old photo I saw in the library. Yeah, she's looking for him pretty clearly. They just have really good casting in these movies. Good chemistry between the characters.
Would you care to
I'd love to.
They really are kind of perfect for each other. And obviously that's meant to be the point.
Hey, Doc, this...
Get it, Doc. Get it.
Funny boy!
The Doc can dance.
Probably never would have imagined in a million years.
Real smooth, that's the way you do.
I mean, you're forcing him to shoot with his left hand. How many people shoot with their left hand?
Listen, can I try that again?
Yeah, make him shoot with his correct hand.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
7-Eleven.
Yeah, video arcades for me. Most people are right-handed. Why he tried to make him shoot with his left, I don't know.
Very Buchholman.
Oh, thanks. Hey, Frisbee, far out.
What was the meaning of that?
It was right in front of him.
I mean, we know what that means, but if you have no idea, that was a very odd interaction. It's like he's just reading stuff out and laughing at it. What's wrong with this guy?
I told you to watch your back, Smithy.
Lieutenant, but you're early.
So this is when he was supposed to die, at least based on what happened in the article, or just from what it said on the tombstone.
Damn you, Tannen! I damn you.
That was supposed to be the end. And that is where we diverge into a new timeline.
You. Hey, lighten up, jerk!
You say lighten up, jerk, to someone who just tried to kill your best friend. Lighten up, jerk.
Look, just leave my friends alone.
What's wrong, dude? You yellow?
See, again, fragile male ego. That's not even an insult from his time, but just anything to refer to him as cowardly.
Like I said, we'll finish this tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're robbing the Pine City stage.
Probably don't want to announce that to people before you're doing it. It's a crime and all, you know? I mean, they are very stupid.
Right there, in front of the Palace Saloon. I do my killing before breakfast. 7 o'clock.
8 o'clock. I do my killing after breakfast.
I mean, he's cutting it awful close. He's relying on everything going exactly right so that he won't be there when that's supposed to happen. And of course, that rarely is the case.
Doc, don't worry about it. Monday morning, 8 a.m. We're gonna be gone, right?
Theoretically, yes, but what if the train's late?
Wait.
You should have thought of that, Marty. Say like 10 or something.
I want everybody to know that the gun that shot Buford Tannen was a Colt Peacemaker.
Hey, no problem.
Of course, you understand that if you lose, I'm taking it back.
He's going to sit there and wait to see how the fight comes out and just said, hey, if you lose, I'm going to take this off your dead body, all right? Cool. That's advertising back in the 1880s. Oh, this gun killed Buford Tannen. Buy it.
You a brother named Martin McFly? Had a brother. Martin used to let men provoke him into fight. He was concerned that people would think him a coward if he refused. That's how he got a Bowie knife shoved through his belly in a saloon in Virginia City.
I wondered before why Marty is like this, why he has such a chip on his shoulder about people calling him a coward, basically. I think it's because of his father. It's because of how his father was before he changed the timeline. He was just so much of a coward about everything. He was determined not to be that.
I adore Jules Verne.
So do I. I never met a woman who liked Jules Verne before.
I never ever met a man like you before.
I don't think there is another guy like Doc. Seems to be one of a kind. Maybe both of you are. Well, we're in uncharted territory now. Potentially. I mean, we're still not to the day Doc was supposed to die, but...
You talking to me? You talking to me, Tannen? Well, I'm the only one here.
I mean, Marty McFly doing his best taxi driver. Quite a reference to pull in this situation.
Fine, I don't...
Good luck tomorrow, Mr. Eastwood. We'll be praying for you.
Thanks.
We'll be praying for you that you kill Mad Dog Tannen. They used to pray for strange things back in those days.
Look at that, the tombstone.
My name, it's vanished. The tombstone itself and the dates still remain. That doesn't make sense.
Means that as of now, someone's still counted on to die. But it may no longer be Doc.
For your cough. My cough? So, may not be my name that's supposed to end up on this tombstone. It may be yours. Great Scott. I know, this is heavy.
They switch their sayings around. Also, Doc still has the hole in his hat.
You heard what that son of a bitch called me last night?
That's exactly what causes you to get into that accident in the future.
Yeah, Doc let a little too much slip. That's what happens when you know too much.
I can't tell you. It might make things worse. You've got to do what you've got to do. I've got to do what I've got to do.
And what he's got to do is be with Clara. He almost has a responsibility at this point to try to rectify the timeline.
I'm in love with Clara.
Doc, we don't belong here. Neither one of us.
The future isn't written. It can be changed. You know that.
You know, I just thought of this. Doc doesn't have a future as far as we know. We didn't see anything about him in 2015. Anything about when he died or anything. What his life was supposed to be.
Doc, you're a scientist. So you tell me, what's the right thing to do up here?
He and Clara were almost designed to be able to be time travelers without disrupting the timeline. She's not supposed to be alive anymore, and he doesn't have anything he's tied to in his time.
I've at least got to tell her goodbye.
Think about it. What are you going to say to her? I got to go back to the future? I mean, she's not going to understand that, Doc. I don't know. Maybe we can just take Clara with us.
Future?
She's not supposed to be there. I mean, maybe he shouldn't come to that realization now, but it seems like that's a realization he would have to come to at some point. Ironically, her staying there actually creates more of an issue. Yep, he can't leave without telling her. And even though she doesn't initially believe him, it's kind of really important that he does this, because otherwise she wouldn't come to the realization later.
I have to go back where I came from.
And where might that be?
I can't tell you.
This is all very secretive, Emmett. And strange.
And wherever you go, and take me with you.
I can't, Clara.
Yeah, that's something you only say if you're in love with somebody. I'm not allowed to tell you where I'm going or any of this stuff. Well, take me with you anyway.
If you sincerely do love me, then tell me the truth.
I'm from the future. I came here in a time machine that I invented.
I mean, how could anybody believe that? At least not initially, and not without seeing evidence or something.
I've heard some whoppers in my day. All you had to say is I don't love you and I don't want to see you anymore. That at least would have been respectful.
I mean, that's pretty fair. Maybe if he had slowly shown her the car, shown her different things that like showed that it had to be true. But you just go drop a story on her.
And you can leave the bottle.
It's a woman, right? I knew it. I have seen that look on a man's face 1,000 times all across the country.
That is hilarious. Somebody who is such a talker that he would stand in a bar for hours all night just picking up and putting down a glass without ever drinking out of it.
It's that you never know what the future might bring.
Well, the future. Oh, I can tell you about the future.
Oh, so he's grieving, so all of this stuff about messing up the timelines, let's just throw that out the window. Just reveal everything to him.
What time is it, Doc?
Yeah, a lot of things happened after you went to sleep, Marty. Doc went and got Claire all pissed at him, and now he's standing in a bar, and he's going to put you right in harm's way to have that gunfight. You know, it's a whole thing.
You gotta come back with me.
Where?
Back to the future.
I mean, where? You've been talking about the future all night in this bar.
Here's to you, blacksmith! And to the future.
Amen.
Amen. Damn it, no!
I mean, I've heard of lightweights, but that's a bit much. You take one shot of whiskey and you're dead on your feet. Also, the idea that it hits that fast. That was funny.
Joey, let's make some wake-up juice.
I mean, if you got something called wake-up juice, it damn well better deliver. Okay, well, at least that was a reaction. I don't know if that was a good reaction.
Are you in there, East One? It's 8 o'clock, and I'm calling you out.
Yeah, that was the danger. If you were going to be anywhere near there around 8.
I'm not really feeling up to this today, so I'm gonna have to forfeit.
Forfeit? What's that mean?
You win without a fine.
You can't do that. Hey, you can't do that!
Hey, I came here to kill somebody. You can't just back out without me getting to kill you. That's not fair. That'd make Mad Dog sad.
I said that's 10, you gutless yellow pie slinger!
Well, if you're going to call him a gutless yellow pie slinger.
He's an asshole. And I don't care what anybody else says either.
Way to go, Marty. Finally got enough self-respect not to care what people goading you into a fight have to say.
The thing I really miss here is Tylenol.
Hey, product plug for Tylenol. In the 1880s of all places. Tylenol logo comes up on the screen.
Forget about me, Marty, and save yourself!
Well, that would kind of defeat the purpose of why he came back there.
Was this man tall with great big brown puppy dog eyes and long silvery flowing hair?
You know him.
She's Clara. She's the one he was talking about all night. So at that stage, at least she knows that he loves her.
Prepare to meet your maker, blacksmith.
Right here, Tannen.
This has got to be the most different role Tom Wilson played in this entire trilogy. It's like you're just going to be an Old West villain.
Draw!
No!
Not the answer you expect there.
I thought we could settle this like men.
You thought wrong, dude.
Well, then wouldn't that make you a coward? If you weren't willing to settle it like men, as they said? I don't think anyone's impressed. You just shot an unarmed man in the street. Not much impressive about that. Oh. Oh my god. He's invincible. And he's made out of steel. He's a superhero in the 1880s. Or he has a stove door tied to his chest. Ooh, right in the face. That was hell of a shot. Now about settling that like men. Boom. Well, nobody's using that tombstone. It's still in the picture, just with the top missing. Hey, it is not a Back to the Future movie if we don't end up with a Tannen and manure at some point. It just isn't.
You know what I think? I think Buford's going to jail.
Yeah, you know, And I'm sure you running on foot will get you out of trouble. They're just on horseback with guns and ropes.
Seamus, it's worth $12, never been used. Maybe I'll trade it for a new hat. Ride and take care of that baby.
What they don't tell you is that Seamus takes that gun and becomes a notorious gunfighter and bounty hunter. His whole life changes. It's crazy. You wouldn't have expected that out of Seamus.
Time machine.
Man, she's determined. She's able to figure that out, where on the little thing the time machine is located, and heads there. That's how in love Clara Clayton is with Dr. Emmett Brown. Clara is on a mission. She's like, I don't know if this time travel stuff is true or not, but I'm finding Emmett.
Is this a hold-up?
It's a science experiment. Stop the train just before you hit switch track up ahead.
Yeah, like this guy wouldn't know exactly who they are. That engineer is like, you know, these two guys that looked very much like those two guys came asking about something like this a couple of days ago. It's a way to make it seem very innocent, glossing over the fact that Marty and Doc just stole a train. Just committed a felony. But it was in the name of science. Clara finding little pieces of the puzzle. The train without the engine. Keep going, Clara.
Input the destination time. October 27th, 1985, 11 a.m.
Check.
That's supposed to be the morning after all the other time travel happened. So only a few hours have passed through this entire trilogy. But in real time, it's been weeks, I think.
Hopefully we'll hit 88 miles per hour before the needle gets much past 2,000.
What happens after it hits 2,000?
The whole boiler explodes.
Perfect.
I mean, nothing to worry about, Marty. Just, you know, pay attention when it gets close to there, you know, whole boiler exploding kind of thing. You know, you just want to keep an eye on it. Yep, this locomotive is not going to stay together very long. You might want to hurry. She went a long way and did a lot of things just to be able to say that in that moment. It's sweet. It's a very sweet love story between the two of them, you know?
Clara! Climb out here to me!
I don't know if I can.
You can do it!
I mean, that would be horrible. She takes one step out and she automatically falls. The clothing she's wearing is not terribly helpful for this kind of thing. But it shows how much she trusts him, too. She's willing to do it. That would be friggin' scary. Ooh. Yeah, that is more than a little troubling. DeLorean does a wheelie. Clara is hanging by the tatters of her dress. And Doc is about to fall, too. That was a lucky catch. Lucky catch, Doc. Well, he's staying, Marty. Get inside. Quickly. Yeah, put your hat on. That'll help. It'll make the time travel smoother. Oh. I mean, they timed that just right. Right before he went through the wooden sign. Now, aside from that being an odd place to show up in the future, the thing they didn't account for was another train could have been right there. I know we have a train coming, but still. He could have ended up inside a train. Come on, folks. Haven't you seen a car rolling down the train tracks before? Just casually? Yeah. No time to rest, Marty. Get out. Quick, 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 quick. Boom. Train tore through that like it was tinfoil. Much as Biff's car would have in the 50s. Just imagine people going home, trying to describe what just happened. Like, you wouldn't believe what I just saw when I was out at the grocery store. A car came rolling down the train track, just out of nowhere. And then a train came the other direction and just obliterated it.
Well, Doc, it's destroyed, just like you wanted.
You know, in a sadder world, they may have just left it right there. Meaning, you don't get to know anything about what happens to Doc.
Hey, butthead, get away! Watch it, Biff. I didn't recognize you in those clothes.
What the hell are you doing?
Putting on the second coat now.
They broke out the Biff makeup for Tom Wilson one more time to finish off the movie.
Jennifer.
Jennifer's had a hell of a time. And now she's going to wake up on her porch with you dressed like a cowboy. That doesn't help things.
Marty, I had the worst nightmare.
Yeah, she had a pretty bad nightmare. Unfortunately, she's going to find out that it was not a nightmare. Hey, look, it's Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Let's see what she can do. Next green light. No thanks. What's the matter? Chicken?
Wow, what a cut down. Tough looking guy going around calling people chicken. Heavens to Betsy. I never thought I'd hear that kind of language. Boom. And that's what happens when you learn a lesson, folks. When you become wiser as a person.
I would have hit that Rolls Royce.
And that accident would have changed your life for the worse. That's kind of brilliant because he didn't know about that, but she did. Yeah, and now she can actually, I mean, that's the thing. That would have been hard for him to carry for the rest of his life by himself. So now she can know about it too. Although she's about to see a lot more evidence.
You're right, there's not much left.
Doc's never coming back.
Yeah, this would have been a sad way to end it. But they could have. He could have gone back to the cemetery and saw Doc and Clara's tombstones next to each other or something. This is nicer. This is a happier ending.
What the hell?
And we'll talk in the wrap-up about logistics here a little bit. But at this point, you don't care. You're just happy to see him again.
Doc! Bernie! It runs on steam!
It's a little more conspicuous than just a DeLorean that travels through time.
Harry, you know.
Hi, Marty!
Ma'am! These are our boys, Jules and Vern.
See, that's the thing. That's crazy because of the age of the kids in particular. For Marty, it's been a few hours, but for them, it's been years.
I had to come back last night. Well, I didn't want you to be worried about me. I brought you a little souvenir.
Yeah, something a little bit better than the burned up picture. A nice framed version of the picture.
I brought this note back from the future, and now it's erased.
Of course it's a race.
She needs a little more explanation, Doc.
Your future is whatever you make it. So make it a good one. Both of you.
Both of you. It's a little sappy and over the, like, heavy-handed, but it's a happy ending. We'll take it.
Hey, Doc! Where you going now? Back to the future?
Nope. Already been there.
See? I wonder if they were leaving it open for more, or if they had other plans already. I'll talk about that in the wrap-up, too. But not going back to the future, that means he's going to go explore the past, probably. Which would still be terrifying in most times in the past to see something like that show up. I think it was a dragon. Man, it's a pretty grand ending to this whole trilogy. You got to give him that. Let us go to the wrap-up, shall we? Well, that's it, folks. That is the end of the trilogy. We did it. We came back. We had that one lowly Back to the Future movie reaction sitting on its own, and we decided to finish it up, do Back to the Future Part 2 and 3, and we have completed the trilogy. I still enjoy all those movies, but I mean, again, I was a kid. They were exciting. It was a big deal at the time. I think everyone loved those movies back when I was growing up. A couple of things, though, in particular. First of all, the logistics of Doc creating a time machine out of a locomotive. First of all, he's still back in the 1880s. Second of all, he just robbed a train and then ran it off a bridge. How he got away with that, I don't know. It's not like he was really wearing a disguise. Sorry, everybody. Stole the train and destroyed it. They're going to need a pass on this one. But then, oh yes, help me excavate the entire wreck of the train so that I can somehow, using 1880s technology, form it into a time machine. Seems highly unlikely. Seems like it would have taken a huge undertaking of effort, not to mention the existence of some technology that I'm sure probably didn't exist in that time period. But this is a fun sci-fi movie, and we wanted a happy ending, so here we are. Let's not push on it too hard. But the other thing, and this actually comes down to, some of you may know this better than me because I didn't watch this. I know there was a cartoon. I know there was an animated show for Back to the Future. Does that pick up where this series left off. Like, he said that thing, Marty said, "You going back to the future again?" He's like, "No, I've already been there." So for me, that means they're planning to go and travel through the past, and they maybe already have been exploring different times in the past. Does the animated show they had pick up after this movie and like they go and have adventures in the past, and that's what the kind of premise of the show is? I've never watched it, so I don't know, but maybe some of you have watched it, so let me know. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it beyond that. It's a satisfying end to the franchise. In some ways it was a different type of a story to do than the other two movies, because it's like, hey, we're just going back to this time period that neither of us have a direct connection to. It's going to happen by accident, but it's just going to kind of let us exist in this time period and take this whole thing we've been doing and do it in a time period that's really not set up for it. But honestly, there was kind of more parallels to the first movie in this movie than there was in the second one. Again, only the first and third have a situation where the time machine is not working for them to be able to use it to go back to the present. And the kind of mission of the movie is getting it to a point where it can do that. Also, there's parallels when we're dealing with the 1955 doc to like things that happened in the first movie. I mean, we draw more comparisons that way. I feel like there's oddly more similarities to this movie to the first one than there is the second one to the first one. Also, for those of you who haven't played it out there, it is an interesting game. It was fun. If you have access to it, I don't know where it's available anymore, but the Telltale Games Back to the Future, the game, is Marty. I forget exactly how he ends up with a time machine again. It takes place after this, and Marty going back to the 30s for some reason and encountering Doc when he was, I don't know if he was a teenager or if he was in his early 20s. I get the sense he was a teenager. And they talked about Jules Verne and the impact it had on him as a scientist here. Apparently Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, at least from that game, had a big impact on him as a scientist. So that is a fun game to play if you're a fan of the Back to the Future movies. It goes a few different places. You see a few different like kind of alternate things happen and stuff. So interesting to explore. But other than that, I don't know if we have much to say. I'm glad that we watched all these together. I'm glad to have watched them again and to have reactions down to them. You know, for this, it's not experiencing it for the first time, but this was part of the kind of the conceit of the channel for me, is that I've watched reaction videos for years before I did this. And I thought, well, there's, you know, value to first time reactions, but what about things like this too? Rewatches and, you know, watching your favorite movies together and that kind of stuff. And been trying to do a fair balance of that out here. And this trilogy was a big one in that category for me as far as favorites from when I was growing up. So real quick, one more time before we get out of here, I want to make sure to invite you to check out the Patreon. The full-length reaction to this movie is available over on the Patreon right now, as well as the full-length reactions to the other two Back to the Future movies. There's all kinds of full-length movie reactions over there, exclusive television show reactions, all kinds of stuff. I hope you go check it out and consider becoming a patron. Any support that you offer over here or over there is always greatly appreciated. And speaking of over here, if you'd be so kind as to go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, click the bell so you can see when I'm putting out new videos. And a special thank you to my Seen Everything patrons, Aunt Vess and Stevie. Thank you so much for your support. And that's all for us here today, folks. Thank you for being here to watch this movie with me and to help finish this trilogy with me. I will see you on the next video. Take care.